Alright, just left the car and made our start on the trailhead. The first little bit of trail is on this old fire road, so we're just gonna follow this up for about a half mile, and then we split off onto a separate trail. Our first stop today, which isn't actually a part of the Corte Madera hike itself, but is actually a separate hike that you could do, is an old fire lookout up on top of the mountain. Alright, just a little update on where we're going. You can see it up there. That's the fire tower. That's stop number 1. But in order to get there, we gotta go there in the valley and then hike up that ridge to the fire tower. Dude, this trail has been so sick. Little streams, even on the fire road with all the trees overhanging. And this is a climate that I don't think I've ever experienced in San Diego. Snow camping's sick. Who doesn't want to camp in the snow? But we're making amazing time. Fire lookout's up there. I say we're about a mile away from the fork in the road that splits us between Corte and that fire lookout. So it's hard not to just like speed walk this trail, because yes, you're taking in the nature around you and it's beautiful. At the same time, I'm so excited to see what's around the bend, what the next view is, what do the shrubs and the trail look like around the corner. It's been such a good hike so far, and I'm only like less than an hour in. Made it to the crossroads. That is Corte Madera, San Diego's Half Dome, and we're at the crossroads. So up this trail is the fire lookout. We're gonna head up that way first to go eat our lunch, get a full 360-degree panoramic view of this beautiful area. Further that way is Mexico, and actually there's a mountain called Tecate, and everything beyond that mountain is Mexico. But then we'll head back, and down this trail is how we get up. Gonna hike up this spine and eventually end up there at the very top of Corte Madera, and hopefully we'll get to see some peregrine falcons. I did not think I was gonna see any of this, but here it is. Snow in the shady bits of the trail. That is so cool. Oh, even up on the trees are still frosted. Look at that. Did not think I was gonna see any kind of snow or anything. Oh, so we made it. There's the fire lookout behind me. I mean, I want to eat on these steps, but I'm kind of worried that shit might fall on me. That's so thick. You can hear it all falling. Los Pinos. This might be the best tasting sprout sandwich I've ever had. I watched a guy make it, and he loaded this shit up with fucking mayo. I love mayo. Peak 1 of 2 in one day. Feels good. Alright, well, we're back on the trail. Time to ascend what we came here to do, Corte Madera. Gonna make the 2-mile trip back down to that crossroads. And then, I don't know how much further we have to go in order to ascend Corte Madera, but I think it's around 3.5 miles or something like that. So it'll be the hardest bit of hiking that we've had to do today. And I don't know, I'm excited. This first stop was beautiful. Alright, back at the crossroads. Now continuing up this trail. It's gonna take us to the Corte Madera peak. Past this point, we're passing a yellow sign right now that is marking the start of raptor territory. So from this point on, eyes are to the sky looking for the Peregrine Falcon, bald eagles, or even the California golden eagle. Any of those birds could be back in these trees, hunting, mating, whichever. And we're just gonna keep an eye out. In a couple of miles, we're doing some pretty intense climbing. So, feeling it in the quads off the rip. That decline was not as much of a rest as I thought it was gonna be. We're entering the toughest section of this hike. We're back onto single track trail, and while it's pretty moderate right now, we're gonna have to start climbing up sections of boulders pretty soon. And I mean, while I love bouldering, it does add a challenge to a hike, so. But I'm gonna enjoy this scenic nature walk while I still have the opportunity to. The jacket is back off because this incline started to get me to heat up again. Oh. Making great time. I'm pretty sure that is Kissing Boulders, which is one of the major kind of checkpoints along this hike. I think after this, there's one more thing I need to be on the lookout for before finally getting to the summit. But this view is beautiful. I didn't even see this from the trail. I just walked up this rock. There's a pasture down there with a shit ton of cows just grazing. And there's a little red barn. Love a good red barn out in the distance. Just got done with the last little bit of intense incline, and the panoramic view looks like I'm pretty much on top. Probably a few little small sections of incline left, before I get to the actual summit, but feels pretty good. Went past the place where it looked like I could set up camp a little bit further back. Looked like some people had turned the rocks there into a bench, and there's ashes from a fire that they probably did. So the backpack is off right in front of Corte Madera Peak. We have made it. Holy. It is so beautiful up here. Still have plenty of time left in the day to explore what I can of this face and just hang out. It's so pretty up here. And there's a big bird over there. We're gonna hang out and see what kind of pictures of wildlife I can take and whatnot. But yeah, made it to the peak.
There's a bird in a tree singing a song just for me, just for me. I've been down for oh so long. Seemed like my soul was dead and gone. But it's alright, I'm back in the fight. I thought my day would never come. Maybe
that was one of the coolest experiences of my whole life. I mean, the Peregrine Falcon is such a unique bird in how fast it is, and even just sitting there watching it as it sat on its perch. First of all, I walked down this little bit of trail down there to get to the face of the rocks. 'Cause I'm at the summit, but that doesn't mean that I'm on top of that rock face. So I hiked down to get on top of that rock face, and I just sit down to enjoy the view because you can see the Pacific Ocean. You have all these other mountains surrounding you. I look to my left, and there's a Peregrine Falcon, maybe 30 feet away from me, perched, looking out over the cliff, just waiting. And I was like, holy shit, there's a Peregrine Falcon right there. I'm sitting with my feet like less than a foot away from the edge of like I don't even know how many hundreds of feet down that is, but the huge cliff is like a foot away from me. And I was about to leave. I was getting ready to leave, and I stood up, and this other bird came around the bend, and the Peregrine Falcon took off. And I was able to get my camera up in just perfect timing to be able to film that quick engagement where the peregrine just swooped in, put its talons on that golden eagle, and I have not seen a golden eagle since then. I just got camp set up. The sun is going down. We're gonna walk out over to this forest that's just behind the camera to watch sunset. But yeah, it was a good day all around. That was one of the best experiences of my life. Being on that cliffside at that Falcon. That was so cool. But yeah, we're gonna go watch sunset, and yeah. All right. That was one of the coldest nights of all time. It was freezing. I probably only stayed asleep for like an hour at a time and then I would wake up. But made it to sunrise. Stoked on that. And all of my stuff is dying. My phone is about to die. This camera is about to die. The other camera is about to die. So I think what I'm gonna do is pack up and make food and hike down. But yeah, this camera's about to die, so that's the plan, and you're not gonna see any of it.